Hormesis and autophagy form a synergistic foundation for anti-aging by transforming mild stress into long-term cellular strength. Hormesis is the concept that small doses of stress, whether from fasting, heat exposure, cold immersion, exercise, or phytochemicals, can stimulate adaptive responses that ultimately enhance health and longevity. These good stressors don't overwhelm the system. Instead, they prompt cells to activate their protective pathways, including the highly conserved process of autophagy. In this way, hormesis acts as a call to action, and autophagy is one of the body's most powerful responses. When the body encounters a hormetic stimulus like intermittent fasting, it interprets the temporary lack of nutrients as a signal to shift out of a growth-focused mode and into preservation and repair. This transition involves the inhibition of nutrient-sensing pathways such as mTOR and the activation of energy sensors like AMPK and SIRT1. These changes directly initiate autophagy, encouraging cells to dismantle and recycle damaged components instead of building new ones. Over time, this repeated cycle of mild stress and cleanup leads to more efficient, less burdened cells that can perform better under pressure. It is not just a reaction, it's a form of biological training that conditions the body to age more slowly. Physical activity offers another example of hormesis-driven autophagy. During moderate to intense exercise, the muscle cells undergo temporary oxidative stress and mechanical strain. In response, autophagy is triggered to remove damaged mitochondria and proteins, while also promoting mitochondrial biogenesis. This keeps energy production efficient, protects muscle mass, and enhances insulin sensitivity. Similarly, the brain benefits from exercise-induced autophagy through improved synaptic plasticity and reduced accumulation of neurotoxic proteins, helping preserve cognitive function well into later life. Heat and cold exposure also fall into this hormetic framework. Saunas, for example, raise core body temperature just enough to activate heat shock proteins and initiate autophagy, particularly in cardiovascular and immune cells. Cold exposure, whether through cold showers or ice baths, generates mild oxidative stress and activates cold shock proteins and mitochondrial adaptations that depend on autophagic cleanup to be effective. The result is greater cellular flexibility, increased stress tolerance, and improved metabolic function, all key features of biological youth. Even certain compounds found in plants act as hormetic agents that trigger autophagy. These include polyphenol like resveratrol, catechins in green tea, curcumin from turmeric, and compounds like sulforaphane in cruciferous vegetables. Though mildly irritating to cells in high doses, these substances at lower doses stimulate the body's antioxidant defenses, enhance DNA repair, and upregulate autophagy. This is part of why diets rich in colorful, bitter, or slightly pungent plant foods are consistently associated with longer lifespans. The beauty of the hormesis-autophagy relationship is that it doesn't require heroic effort. Small, repeated exposures to these manageable stressors accumulate benefits over time. Each instance of fasting, exercise, heat, cold, or nutrient challenge strengthens the body's internal housekeeping systems. Instead of eroding vitality, these challenges sharpen it. The cell becomes more adaptable, more resilient, and less likely to succumb to age-related damage. Importantly, this process also trains tissues to respond better to future stress, reducing inflammation, protecting DNA, and maintaining mitochondrial efficiency. Far from being passive victims of time, our cells are dynamic systems that thrive when given a reason to adapt. Autophagy is the executor of that adaptation, and hormesis is the invitation. Together, they represent a compelling vision of aging not as inevitable decay, but as a process that can be slowed, shaped, and even partially reversed through intelligent engagement with the body's stress response pathways. In this light, aging becomes less about decline and more about strategy, harnessing small challenges to preserve vitality, clarity, and resilience across the lifespan.